Hi guys, James at RampantLionReviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to stick to Sweden, but we're going to head north for this one up to the capital city, Stockholm, and we're going to return to a brewery who I only introduced you to for the first time on the channel a few videos back, and the last beer that I had from these guys was pretty nice actually, so I'm really curious to see how this one turns out. So for this review then we are going to go to Sessionable in the south of the city, and we're having a look at my second beer from Unibärsum Bryggeri. So this one is the Space Pants, which is an IPA coming in at 6.5% ABV. The last beer that I had from these guys was the Alien Structures, which was really quite nice, quite a wheaty leaning IPA this one. So I'm really curious to see how this one turns out by comparison, and hopefully it's another nice beer. I mean, the last one was really quite sessionable and quite light and drinkable, so I'm curious to see what this one has in common with it and what it has that's a little bit different. But yeah, these two beers, this one, like the Alien Structure, was released as part of the local and småskaligt assortment through Sessionable here in Sweden on the 1st of April 2020. So yeah, hopefully this is another good one. So yeah, as always with my reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery before we taste the beer. If you want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my other reviews that I've done from Unibärsum Bryggeri and before, and hopefully there will be some more to add to that at some point fairly soon. I don't know how regularly these guys are going to release cans and things, but there's all the usual social media down there as well. If you want to see more reviews, do please consider subscribing to the channel. The whole channel, of course, has a geography-based tagging system, so you can go into the homepage and search for beer based on country, city, state, county, prefecture, whatever it is you happen to be interested in. Do check out the playlist of beers from different countries. There is one there for all the Swedish beers that I've reviewed for you. That's constantly being added to, and as always, please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. It's always great to hear from you guys that are watching the videos, and the support that you show the channel is hugely appreciated. So anyway, on to my brewery notes then to tell you a little bit about Unibärsum then. So Unibärsum Bryggeri, as I've mentioned to you already, are based in Stockholm. And the company was founded by Joachim Bergman and 6 partners. So Joachim apparently had been a home brewer for a number of years, and he brewed with a quite large group of friends, and apparently he was just the one out of this group that the hobby stuck with the most. So he went on to found the company officially in 2013, and then they expanded a bit in 2015. So they had their first brewery in Sessionable, which they're still located in, and this is to the south of Stockholm, and they started with a 200 litre brewery and 4 200 litre fermentation tanks. In 2018 though, they joined forces with the PKLK brewery, who I've introduced to you on the channel quite recently as well, and they moved into the Unibärsum premises, bringing with them a 500 litre brew kit, and both breweries have their own separate tanks in the building. More recently though, they've expanded and they've taken on a few more staff to run the brewery, and they've upped their production again, and as of April 2020, when I'm making this video for you, they've produced around 50 different types of beer. So for a brewery that's been around, you know, about 5 years, as I say, this is the first time I've seen one of their beers in a can, which is kind of interesting. So it's taken them about 5 years to get into to Sessionable, and I guess it kind of shows you just how small these guys were originally, and you know, I guess in a way it kind of shows you how difficult it can be to get your beers into to Sessionable as well. There are some breweries in Sweden who never put their beers into Sessionable, but yeah, these guys have got an interesting range of different beers. I think most of them were different IPAs and things like that actually, so you can go onto the Untappd list and just have a look through all the different beers and things that they've done, but there are some very interesting things down there. But like I said to you, this one, along with the Alien Structure, I believe was the first beer that was released through the through Sessionable nationwide in Sweden. I'm not sure if some of the other beers were launched locally before this, but these are the first ones that came through the local and småskaligt assortment throughout the whole country. So yeah, interesting little brewery this one, and I like the I do like the name of it, the Universe Brewery, I guess, or the Universal Berry Brewery. I don't know exactly how you would translate Unibärsum, but yeah, very nice little brewery this one, and I do hope that we can review some more of their beers at some point in the future. I guess that probably my next beer from these guys has to be something from the dark end of the spectrum, because this is 2 IPAs that we're going to be having a look at now. So yeah, that's, as I say, that's all you really need to know about Unibärsum Brewery at the moment. That was all the information information I was able to find on this brewery, you know, looking through Vernus.se and things like that, this was all that I was really able to find about these guys. So hopefully I can add more to the notes in the video at some point in the future, but for the meantime, let's have a little look at the beer. So yeah, as always, you can check out the brewery website to learn more about Unibärsum Bryggeri. You can follow them on Facebook and Instagram to keep up to date with all the latest goings on, and you can check out the Rate Beer, Untappd and Beer Advocate pages to learn more about the different beers that these guys have done. So yeah, let's go on and have a look at the tasting of this beer then. So it says on the back here, this one has oats and wheat in it. As I say, the last one I had, the Alien Structure, that was quite a wheaty leaning IPA. The hops that are in this one, incidentally, are Citra, Eldorado and Simcoe. So Citra, we know, mango, lots of little tropical fruit complexities as well. Lemon, sometimes lemon lime, sometimes, you know, gooseberry lychee sort of thing. Eldorado is quite a kind of tropical fruity hop. And Simcoe is, you know, your classic kind of passion fruity one, quite a soft passion fruit actually. But yeah, I do like the almost, you know, the sort of almost Game Boy. I don't know, would that be 24-bit or 12 or 9-bit or whatever? But I do like the kind of 9-bitty, the sort of graphic-y images you get on these when it's quite like retro gaming and things like that. There you can see on the back, there it is, the Unibärsum Brewery symbol. So yeah, 440ml can, this one. I think this one cost me like 45 kroner, something like that. So yeah, let's get this guy out and we'll get on with the tasting. A 6.5% IPA with Citra, Simcoe and Eldorado. So without further ado, let's get this guy out and we will get on with the tasting then. So yeah, let's get it out and into the glass. Ooh, I think this is going to be quite nice actually. So yeah, we've still got a little bit of it left in the bottom, and we'll put that in after we've had a look at the aroma then. So you can smell some of the lovely soft tropical fruits coming off this beer just before we open it up. So as you can see with this one, this has poured a lovely kind of bright yellow colour actually. If I put the light through this, this is a very, very kind of bright yellow. It looks, in terms of its appearance, it's actually quite similar looking to some of the Munich Helles beers that you're going to find. You do get some of the very nice hazy ones that come out of the tap, just like this. It's almost a little bit like that, but a very kind of bright yellow hazy colour. This one, you could see there was about a quarter finger of a frothy white head on this one. One or two big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass, a few little ones just going up towards the bottom of the head there. But yeah, definitely a very nice bright yellow coloured beer, this one. If I stick my fingers behind the glass, you can see this one, you know, it's quite it's got a good degree of haze to it, but it's not the most soupy and hazy kind of New Englandy type IPA that you're going to come across. This one, as I say, it's got oats and it's got wheat in it, so I think you have to term this one a New England style IPA when it's got that. But yeah, a good bit of haze to it, but not overly much in my experience. But yeah, it looks very, very nice. Nothing out with the realms of possibility in terms of appearance for this beer when you consider what style it is. But yeah, looks the part. Let's take a closer look at the aroma then and just see how we get on. Oh yeah, this is another, I think this is going to be another kind of wheaty leaning IPA. I mean, I do wonder if this is the same base recipe as the Alien Structures and they've just kind of changed the hops around a little bit. But I'm sure we'll be able to tell when we look at the flavour. But yeah, straight away with this one, you've got a nice bit of, you definitely have quite a nice kind of wheaty note in there. Yeah, straight up kind of, this is quite a wheaty one. There's a good bit of a kind of biscuity, there's a good bit of a kind of biscuity wheaty sort of thing to this beer as well. You can get a little bit of that McVitie's Digestive kind of biscuity thing coming out of this one. It's definitely got a little bit of that kind of, you know, brown sugary boozy type thing with it, which is interesting. You can smell that kind of biscuity note just covering up the boozy side of the beer. I mean, it's 6.5%. This is not the booziest of IPAs that you're going to come across, in fairness, but yeah, that biscuity note, there's always the sweetness in these malt bases are covering up, or what is covering up the alcohol side of things. You do get a little bit of the oaty creaminess in this one, but for me, the malt base, it really is more leaning towards the wheat. As I say, you get a bit of the oatiness at the front of those, a wee bit of the kind of biscuity qualities, but you also get you know, you also get a bit of this, you can smell a little bit of the kind of straight up white bready, pale malty type thing with this one as well. There's something about this beer that smells a little bit crisp. There could be a wee bit of Pilsner malt or something in here. And you know, if it is similar to the last one that I had, the Alien Structure, that wouldn't surprise me because that was quite a crisp and drinkable beer. There is just something that you can smell. You can just almost smell the crispness out of this beer, but the malt base is pretty straight up, like I say. A bit of the wheat, it leans towards the wheat, a bit of that kind of biscuity, boozy type quality, the McVitie's Digestive, wee little bit of oaty creaminess in there as well, some kind of Pilsner malty type crispness, and you can also get a little bit of the kind of pale malty, white bready kind of thing, which is interesting as well. So yeah, I like how the aroma on this one goes together. On the hoppy side of things then, to me, on the green side of the hops, it's got, it's not really got an earthiness to it, this one, which is interesting, but it's got a little bit of floral character, and mainly other than that, it leans towards the grassy side of things, to be honest. Yeah, definitely, for me, this leans 100% more towards the grassy end of the spectrum, so I do like how that goes together, actually. Yeah, it's a really nice aroma, this one. It comes across as very soft and tropical and very light and grassy. So on the fruity side of things, you get a wee bit of mango out of this, which will be the citra, but you've also got a little bit of a kind of, you know, papaya, apricot-y type of thing. Maybe a little bit of passion fruity note as well. The passion fruit, of course, will come from the Simcoe, and the slightly stronger ones, the slightly darker passion fruity notes, will come from the El Dorado. But as I say, you get a lovely lighter mango note out of this, a wee bit of papaya, these lighter papaya apricot-y type tropical notes. It really leans towards those lovely soft tropical fruits rather than anything else. Yeah, and there's maybe a little bit of a kind of lychee-ish, gooseberry type thing. You can get some of these very, very light notes. There's maybe even a little bit of that kind of lemon-limey thing from the citra. This beer does have a little bit of zestiness to it, in fairness. So yeah, bear that in mind when you look at the aroma of this beer. It strikes me as like really quite kind of fresh, definitely quite fresh, light and grassy, quite crisp and drinkable. That's the kind of combination of things that I'm getting out of this one. So yeah, let's have a taste of this one and see how we get on then. As I always say, take a bit of time and enjoy the aroma of the beer before you get stuck into it. But this one is the Space Pants, an IPA coming in at 6.5% ABV from Unibärsum Bryggeri in Skersnäck, to the south of Stockholm, up in Sweden. My second beer from this brewery, and one of two that they released in April 2020 through the local and småskaligt assortment in Systembolaget. Slange, skål, cheers. Yeah, this is it's a really nice kind of soft, drinkable IPA. This one you can see the beer got a little bit more hazy as we put in that other bit of the beer. Yeah, it's distinctively more hazy now. Look at that. You can see that there. We'll see if that makes a difference to the kind of the thickness of the beer. Let's just see. Yeah, you can feel that that's a little bit thicker. I think this one, I find this one, compared to the Alien Structure, I do feel that this one does have a little bit more of an oaty presence to it. So yeah, I think the Alien Structure is a bit more of a wheaty leaning, sort of hazy IPA, whereas this one is definitely a bit more of a kind of smooth, oaty leaning one in my mind. This one just strikes me as being a little bit smoother, actually. And I do like it how even within this kind of style you really get little nuances like this. But yeah, this is a nice beer. This gets a thumbs up from me again. It seems to be the thing. My impression of Unibärsum Bryggeri so far is that their beers, they're really nice and quite sessionable, actually. It's just that the crispness and the drinkability that you get out of these is pretty damn good. You know, they're really just very kind of, to use my friend Jesse from America's thing, you know, these really crushable IPAs. They are really just like that, actually. So I need to keep an eye on what these guys are releasing and see how it goes from there. But yeah, this is a solid beer. So let's try and break down let's try and break down the flavour of this one for you and describe it a little bit better. So straight away with this beer, you can feel that nice kind of pale malty quality. That just blankets the middle of the palate there, and that forms the kind of linchpin of the beer. If you go towards the back of the palate, you will get a few kind of more wheaty, kind of bitey notes on the back third of the tongue. You will get a wee bit of that kind of wheaty bitiness, but it's really not overly prominent actually. It's not too bitey, if that makes sense. Yeah, there is a wee bit of that kind of wheaty bitiness to it, but it really is not overly much. You can feel it come out a little bit more further into the aftertaste. You get that almost kind of slightly astringenty thing from the wheat there. You do get one or two little grainy elements to it as well, come to think of it. But yeah, as you come further forward on the tongue, you can feel a little bit of that kind of biscuity sweetness there in the middle of the palate too, which is quite nice. You can feel a little bit of that, and then as you reach towards the kind of the front of that middle third of the tongue, that's when you get some of the kind of creamier oaty elements out of the beer, which is really quite nice. I do like how this malt base goes together. As I said, the alien structure was a bit more wheaty leaning, and just it felt a little bit more kind of strong on the wheaty note, but this one's got a lovely kind of creamy aroma to it actually, which is nice. Creamy flavour rather, not aroma. But that said, when we say this one's creamy, it is actually still a very light, kind of wet feeling, crisp beer. Generally, it's not a big thick soupy sort of thing as you're going to get from some of them. This one is really clean, really wet, and really quite refreshing actually. I think the more and more I drink of this, I do get convinced there is a wee touch of Pilsner malt in this, or some kind of like lager type malt, because if you go to the back of the palate, you can just feel a little bit of that crispness that you'd normally associate with the likes of Pilsner malt or something there. So that's a nice wee touch that this beer has, in my opinion. I do like how that goes together. But yeah, that's the malt base. This one is, as I say, a bit of wheatiness, a little bit more creamy and oaty compared to the alien structure in my mind, and it's got a wee bit of a biscuity sweetness that lingers there into the aftertaste. On the hoppy side of things then, back corners of the palate, you do have a teeny little bit of earthiness there, but quite minimal. As you come further forward along the sides of the palate, you've got a nice kind of floral aromaticity. It's not too spicy or too big or anything like that, but then round the front curve of the palate, it's just a little bit lighter and more grassy, in my mind, this one. So yeah, as I say, the green side of the hops, it leans a little bit more towards that grassy side of things, but there is a little bit more of a floral element to it there compared to what the aroma might have you believe. But let's look at the fruity side of the beer then. So as I always say, the fruity side of a beer comes out in that little oily bubble you get behind the very front curve of your palate. So for me, this one, if you go towards the back of that, you do get a little bit of the darker kind of passion fruity notes out of it, but they juicen up, they soften up and become a lot more juicy the further you go into the flavour of this beer. So you do get a little bit of that darker kind of passion fruity note there. That will be from all of the hops involved here. You will get a bit of that from Simcoe, a bit from Eldorado, and a bit from the Citra in there as well. They're all capable of doing that, but as you move forward from that, you do get the more kind of mangoey elements. The passion fruit, in fairness, it does lighten up a little bit, then you get the more mangoey notes, and then as you move further forward on the tongue, you start to get a little bit of a kind of apricot-y, papaya type thing, and I think it's a little bit kind of pineapple-y on the sort of front of the palate too. I think the pineapple will be coming from the Eldorado rather than anything else. Simcoe's a very straight up passion fruit. Citra can give you a lot of different complexities there, but then as you reach the very kind of front tip of the tongue, you will get, there is a wee bit of a kind of, quite a small, there is a bit of a kind of lemon-limey thing that mixes in with the grassy kind of zestiness that comes out of the beer, but you do get wee elements of a kind of gooseberry-ish, I don't know if it's lychee, but there is a wee bit of a gooseberry type element to this beer as well, and that's one of the complexities you'll get from the Citra. But all three hops in this one showing a little bit of their kind of characters, if you like. So I like how the fruity side of this beer goes together. This one really is quite a nice, just soft, juicy type beer in my mind. So yeah, another really nice, drinkable New England IPA in my mind. The Space Pants IPA from Unibärsum. This is nice, drinkable. Have a go at this beer and see what you think. It is very, very light in its mouthfeel, so we'll move on to that now. So yeah, mouthfeel wise, I do find this beer, it's at the bottom end of mid-bodied, kind of top end of light-bodied in my opinion. The carbonation does have a little bit of crispness to it. The mouthfeel overall for me really is quite wet in this one. This is a, as I say, there is an element of crispness to it, but I find this IPA really quite wet overall, but really, really drinkable. This is a very good kind of summer refreshing type beer, this one. In terms of the hoppy bitterness, there's really not a lot of IBU to this beer at all, come to think of it. I mean, I think you'd be lucky to get 30 out of this. I think this one might be nearer 20 IBUs or something, very, very light in that regard. But you do get a bit of the grassy and kind of floral elements out of it, which you would expect for this style. But yeah, just a little bit of bitterness there. The malt base, like I said, it's quite smooth. You do get an element of crispness out of it, and an element of bitiness towards the back, but quite a smooth malt base. This one, just a teeny touch of sweetness in the middle of the palate too, but then as you you know, when you come further forward on the palate, you do get that nice kind of lighter, juicy note out of the beer as well. But overall, it is quite a nice it's quite a nice beer, this one, and I'm glad that I was able to review this for you. Definitely quite different to the alien structure in my mind. This one leans a little bit more towards the oaty, creamy, kind of smooth side of things, whereas the other one was a little bit more kind of wheaty and bitey in my opinion. But yeah, a really nice kind of drinkable IPA once again from Unibärsum. So yeah, if you like your soft kind of tropical fruit leaning IPAs, then this is one I think that's going to suit you down to the ground, but not the thick. As I say, this isn't one of the big thick kind of creamy soupy type IPAs. This is definitely more of a crisp kind of drinkable, crushable type thing actually. So if I was blind tasting this, I probably would think this is a session IPA of some description actually. But yeah, this has been another nice one to try from Unibärsum, so definitely a brewery that I need to keep an eye on going forward, and we'll see what these guys are releasing over the next little while. Hopefully there's more beers to review for you here on the channel from these guys in the coming months. We'll just need to see. But yeah, let's leave it at that for this one. This one is the Space Pants, a 6.5% IPA, New England IPA I guess we can say, from Unibärsum Bryggeri in Skeppsnäck to the south of Stockholm here in Sweden. So yeah, interesting beer this one, and definitely nice to review another one from these guys too. So once again, thank you for watching my beer reviews. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Let me know your own thoughts on this beer in the comment section below. Let me know what your favourite beers are from Unibärsum Bryggeri as well. No doubt we will return to these guys at some point soon. I just need to keep an eye on the local and Småskaligt assortment and see what they've got coming out. But yeah, you can check out my review of the alien structure as well. You can check out my review of the public service from PKLK as well, because they are sharing their premises with these guys too. But yeah, exciting times for the craft beer scene in Stockholm. We seem to be getting a good few more breweries coming out of there at the moment. So yeah, check this one out and check out some of the other ones as well. Thank you again for watching, and I will catch you guys very soon. This is the Space Pants 6.5% New England IPA from Unibärsum Bryggeri in Skeppsnäck to the south of Stockholm here in Sweden. Slanje, skål, cheers, and thanks for watching.